Something else that I found really interesting had to do with JPMorgan Chase. I'm going to give you what I think is the real story.
I completely applaud your right to not to want to go to the office every day, but you're not going to tell JPMorgan what to do?
The largest bank in the United States, they are requiring all of their remote workers to return to the office. I have to say, as an employer, that makes sense to me. When you manage $3.58 trillion in total assets with over 300,000 employees, you don't necessarily want them to work at home in their pajamas. You do what's best for the business. Except some in today's workforce only want to do what's best for themselves, like the Chase employees who signed a petition against the 5-day in-office policy. Can you believe it? You're expected to show up for work like you were hired to do. This wasn't a bait and switch. I don't know the facts of this down to each individual employee, but I don't think these people were hired to work at home. I think they were hired to work for the bank in the office, and then when COVID hit, they said, okay, we'll adjust and you can work at home for now.
What am I gonna do? I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do a little bit of this, a little bit of that. I'm gonna stay up all day. I'm gonna sleep up all night.
But then CEO Jamie Dimon said, no, it's time to come back to work. And he did reply in rather colorful and passionate language.
I did emote there. I emote, people know me, and I don't really care about that. I don't worry about it.
Some characterized as a rant at a company town hall. Now, by the way, it's a company holding a town hall. That tells me that he doesn't not care about his employees. He's holding a town hall. Companies don't have to hold town halls, but he did. And he said, with regard to the petition, don't waste time on it. I don't care how many people sign that effing petition. Then he was apparently very direct with an employee who questioned the return to office mandate. Dimon apologized for his choice of words, saying he was wrong for losing his cool, but not that he was wrong for demanding workers put on their pants and get back in the office.
What? You wake up in the morning and say, I put on my big boy pants. Look, I'm wearing a belt. I got big boy pants on!
I'm not just reporting the news here, I'm sharing my interpretation of it. So red alert, this is news plus opinion. But it's not opinion without some homework and clinical foundation. I'm not saying I'm right, and I'm happy to hear your take. This is my attitude, my opinion, is that if a company is paying you, management has the right to at least expect you to show up. And you have the right to go work somewhere else. During COVID, we realized the value of remote work, but that's a company's prerogative. It's not an employee's right. A new Pew poll says 46% of remote workers would quit if they had to return to the office full time. Okay, got it. Quit. People have differences of opinion all the time. It's okay. You might, maybe, even be right. You're not, but you could be. And I'm kind of kidding, it could be right for you. Working for home is a sweet deal if your job allows it. It can even be a win-win for the company with significant cost savings. I mean, less office rent. If everybody works at home, you don't have to pay for an office. You save commute, wardrobe. I get it. There are benefits to it both ways, but employers have legit reasons to want to see you in the flesh and not over Zoom, where 70% of workers still don't know how to mute themselves. All right, I made that up. But you know where I'm coming from. Work from home, dishonesty is nothing to laugh at. 95% of American workers between 14 and 34 say leaving early and sleeping on the job were acceptable in today's work environment. That's according to a survey by Papers Owl. According to a Survey Monkey poll, nearly half of U.S. remote workers multitask during work calls or complete housework or chores like unloading the dishwasher or doing laundry. 17% admit to working from a different location without telling anyone. Starbucks, I mean, maybe that's fine, but a nail salon or a sports bar, yeah, not so much. And the worst of the worst, 4% confess to working another job while still employed at their original job. A website called Overemployed shows you how to work 2 remote jobs simultaneously. That's called double dipping. Before you go fishing on overemployed, know you may also be hurting yourself. Many remote workers openly admit that working from home messes up your home life and leads to burnout because there's no escape from either. A McKinsey & Company study shows remote work makes you less efficient and less of a team player. In other words, it stunts your career growth. Research shows people are more productive if they get up, shower, get dressed, and go to a dedicated workspace versus working from a couch in a horizontal position all day. But if you remember only one thing, abusing a work-from-home position is pure theft. Over the summer, Wells Fargo fired 12 employees for using a so-called mouse jiggler. Getting paid while not working when you should be working is stealing someone else's money. It's just that simple. So that's my position. I'd love to know your thoughts. Wherever you're getting The Real Story, make sure you subscribe and follow. I'll see you tomorrow. Your body is a system, and when it's running right, you feel focused, energized, in flow, but sometimes we struggle to find that flow state. Why? Because there's too much static in our system, brain fog, fatigue, and inflammation. The Echo Flask clears the static by infusing your water with molecular hydrogen, a natural science-backed gas that helps your body think sharper, recover faster, and run smoother. This is more than hydration. It's better focus, more energy, faster recovery, less internal stress, and longer-term benefits that keep you sharp. When your water works harder, your whole system does too. Find your flow state with the Echo Flask hydrogen water bottle and get an unlimited supply of hydrogen water at home and on the go. Visit echowater.com/Phil and use code Phil for 10% off. That's echowater.com/Phil. Enter code Phil to save 10%.